Stop running from the storm. Stand in it. Feel the wind claw at your face. Feel the pressure close in around your chest. And understand this. Life is not trying to destroy us. It is measuring us. Most people fail that measurement before the first bolt of lightning even hits. The moment pressure rises, they throw away their crown and hand their mind over to fear. One harsh word, one unexpected bill, one failed plan, and they shatter. Not because the storm is too strong, but because their inner world is too weak. We are not losing to circumstances. We are losing to our reactions. You want power? Then understand this law. Calmness is not softness. Calmness is control. The one who stays composed when everything is shaking is not fragile, not passive, not chill. They are dangerous, because they are the only ones still capable of choosing. The undisciplined mind reacts to everything it sees. A look, a comment, a number on a screen, a delay, a rumor, pulled like a puppet by emotion. But the disciplined mind chooses what to feel, chooses what to think, chooses what to believe. That is the difference between a slave and a sovereign. The slave's mood belongs to the world. The sovereign's mood belongs to their purpose. Every storm is asking the same question. Who rules in there? Is it our anger, our fear, our anxiety? Or is it our purpose, our law, our will? When we lose our temper, we lose our aim. When we panic, we lose our vision. When we drown in anxiety, we lose our initiative. But when we remain calm, something ruthless happens. The noise dies. The path appears. Ideas rise like stars in a sky that finally shut up long enough to show them. Calmness is not doing nothing. Calmness is command held in reserve. It is the sniper's breathing before the shot. It is the chess player's stillness before the move. It is power refusing to waste itself in random explosions. The average person lives like this. Emotion hits, reaction fires, regret follows. Again and again and again. They call it who I am. It's not who they are. It's who they never learned to govern. Emotion is not our enemy. Emotion is raw fuel, blind, violent, impartial. It'll burn down our life or power our rise, depending on whether we are holding the reins. Anger without control burns bridges. Anger under command cuts through lies and corrects what's wrong. Fear without control freezes us in place. Fear under command becomes prudence. Step carefully, think clearly, move wisely. Sorrow without control rots into self-pity. Sorrow under command deepens our faith, our empathy, our resolve. The difference? Who is giving the orders? Most people never learn this. The battlefield is not out there. It's between our ears. The storm outside is nothing compared to the storm inside. And the world will always mirror whichever one dominates. Keep your inner climate chaotic, and you'll find chaos everywhere. Build your inner world into order, and somehow life starts to bend toward you. It is not magic. It is law. Our inner atmosphere leaks. People feel it before we speak. Some walk into a room and bring a chill, doubt, tension, irritation. Everyone tightens. Everything gets harder. Others walk in with quiet steadiness. No big speeches, no theatrics. Yet people breathe easier. Confusion slows down. Problems become solvable. That is calmness as atmosphere. Discipline so deep it changes the temperature of the room. We don't need a title to lead. If our presence restores order, we are already in command. Understand this. Calmness is not something we find when things get better. Calmness is something we build while things are hell. We don't wait for peace to appear after victory. Peace is the condition that creates victory. Every time we hold our tongue when anger begs to speak, we add a brick to our fortress. Every time we breathe instead of reacting, we forge another piece of armor. Every time we pause, observe, and act only when reason approves, we sharpen the blade. Most people are terrified of that pause. They confuse movement with strength. They think talking louder means they're winning. They think rushing means they're doing something. Noise is not power. Motion is not mastery. The mightiest forces in existence work silently. Gravity, magnetism, the turning of the stars. So does real power in a human being. We also have to talk about timing. Impatience masquerades as ambition, but true ambition does not scream. It endures. There's a rhythm to law, a timing to growth. Seeds do not explode into trees because we stare at them harder. Seasons do not bend to our tantrums. We either move with order, or we break ourselves trying to outrun it. The restless mind demands results now and rips the seed out of the soil to check on it. The calm mind plants, tends, adjusts, and trusts law to do what law always does. This is why people who seem too calm in chaos end up owning the future. While everyone else is selling their peace for panic, they are buying time, buying information, buying advantage. Calmness plus patience is not laziness. It is strategic obedience to reality. But don't get it twisted. There is a cost to ignoring all this. If we refuse to build calmness, we will sabotage our own money with haste and bad decisions. We will destroy relationships with uncontrolled reactions and sharp tongues. We will poison our body with constant tension, sleepless nights, and stress chemistry that never shuts off. We will chase storms out there, while the real enemy sits unchallenged on the throne of our mind. Most people will die that way. Not killed by life, but executed by their own reactions. They will blame circumstances, other people, bad luck. But the truth is brutal. They never trained their inner soldier. They never disciplined their inner climate. They never claimed their own mind. So how do we turn this into mastery, not just inspiration? We start small, and we treat it like war. Every morning, before the world touches us, we set the climate. Sit in silence. 10 minutes if we can, 2 if we must. Thoughts will move. Emotions will flicker. We do not chase them. We do not wrestle them. We watch. That distance we feel, between us and what we feel, that distance is power. The bigger that space becomes, the less anything can control us. Then we drill. When anger rises, we pause. 1 breath, 2, 3, no words yet. When fear whispers, we breathe slower than the panic wants us to. Let the body know we are in command. When anxiety tries to stampede our mind, we ask one cold question: what is my purpose here? And we let that answer choose our next move. This is not suppression. This is direction. We train our inner voice too, not the weak, begging voice that pleads, "Please let everything be okay." No, the voice of command. When pressure hits, we tell the mind, "Calm is command. My feelings obey my purpose. Nothing external decides my state. I hear the noise, but I don't bow to it." We repeat it when we wake. We repeat it when we're tested. We repeat it when we're tired and tempted to go back to being a slave to mood. Repetition turns phrases into pathways. Pathways become habits. Habits become identity. Soon, calmness stops being something we try. It becomes who we are. And something strange happens when that switch flips. People feel our steadiness before we speak. Arguments lose their grip on us. Chaos stops dragging us into every drama. Opportunities show up that never appear to frantic minds. We stop chasing respect Our composure demands it. We stop begging for peace. We bring it with us. While others spin in circles, driven by every emotional gust, we move slowly. But every step lands with weight. Every decision carries law behind it. That is the difference between being tossed by life and quietly directing it. Understand this deeply. Every man and woman lives inside two climates: the outer weather that hits the skin, and the inner atmosphere that shapes their fate. Most will spend their lives trying to fix the outer, changing jobs, partners, locations, distractions, without ever managing the inner. Clear skies, and they still feel storm. New city, same chaos. Different partner, same fights. Because the real climate never changed. We are not here to live like that. We are here to govern. So when the next storm comes, and it will, do not rush to escape it. Stand still for a moment. Breathe. Listen. Let the wind scream. Let circumstances shake. Let people panic. Inside, hold this. My calmness is my command. My silence is my strength. My mind is the ruler, not the servant. My purpose governs my emotions. I am the still point in this chaos. Say it until it stops being a sentence and becomes a fact. Because in the end, this is the hard truth. The one who fights while calm cannot be defeated. Not because life won't hit them, it will, but because every blow only tests what they already decided. Nothing external will ever sit on the throne of their mind again. Rule yourself. Make calmness your practice, composure your habit, and silence your strength. The storm is not your enemy. It is your exam. Pass it, and you don't just survive this life. You own it. Before we move forward, understand this. Everything you just heard in that speech means nothing unless you can live it. Calmness isn't a theory. Mastery isn't a philosophy. Command is not an idea. If you don't build a system to train this mindset, you will fall back into old reactions the moment life tests you. So now we shift from understanding to execution, from the poetry of power to the practice of it. Here are 5 steps that will take the principles you just heard and carve them into your daily life, turning calmness into a habit, discipline into a reflex, and composure into your default state. Step 1. Build the pause between emotion and action. If you master only this step, your entire life will change. Because this is the birthplace of power, the space where emotion loses its grip and your will takes the throne. Most people live as prisoners of immediacy. Something triggers them, and their body reacts before their mind even has a chance to speak. Their emotions fire the shot, and they spend the next hours, days, or years cleaning up the damage. Your mission is to build a pause, a deliberate fracture in the chain that normally binds stimulus to reaction. This pause is not hesitation, it is command. It is the moment where you choose who you are instead of letting the moment decide for you. You start by creating a trigger phrase that activates your awareness. The second emotion spikes. Something simple, firm, and unmistakably yours. Pause. I command the next move. Or, breathe first. Act later. The phrase is not for comfort. It's a verbal switch, flipping your mind from instinct to intention. Then you enforce the 10-second rule, a law you must obey, even when every nerve in your body is begging you to explode, defend, argue, panic, or flee. 10 seconds of deliberate breathing. Inhale deep. Hold it. Exhale slow. These 10 seconds are where your power gathers. When your breath slows, your thoughts obey. When your breath is erratic, your mind scatters. In those 10 seconds, you take back the reins. This pause becomes a shield. Without it, Your emotions hijack your voice, your decisions, your relationships, your finances, your future. With it, you become sovereign. You decide when to speak, how to respond, and where to direct your energy. To reinforce the pause, add physical anchors, micro gestures that signal your nervous system to shift out of chaos. Press your thumb and forefinger together. Relax your jaw. Drop your shoulders. Feel your feet in the ground. These subtle actions remind your body, we are not prey. We are in control. Your physiology becomes your ally instead of your enemy. Next comes the daily review, done without judgment. Do not shame yourself. You are not here to kneel before your failures. You are here to observe them like a general studying the battlefield. Ask yourself, where did I react today? What emotion overtook me? What would the pause have given me in that moment? Where did I successfully pause? What outcome did that single moment of composure create? This reflection engraves the training into your subconscious. You teach your mind that calmness leads to better outcomes, and the mind repeats what benefits it. Over time, this practice builds a new identity. You stop being the person who responds instantly and become someone who responds intentionally. You stop being manipulated by people who rely on your emotional reactions. You stop making impulsive decisions that poison your progress. You stop allowing chaos to dictate your direction. Here's the deeper truth. The pause is not weakness. It is warfare. It is the psychological high ground. People who control you do so by triggering you. The moment you build a pause, their influence dies. Stress loses its grip. Anxiety finds no purchase. Fear cannot steer you. This step is the foundation upon which all mastery is built. Without the pause, discipline collapses, logic disappears, and purpose dissolves. But with the pause, you become untouchable. You turn every emotional punch into information. You decide which thoughts to feed and which impulses to starve. You reclaim your mind from the world. And soon, the pause will not feel like effort. It will feel like identity. Your instincts will evolve. Your reactions will slow. Your awareness will sharpen. The old version of you, impulsive, frantic, easily provoked, will begin to dissolve. You will feel a distance between you and your emotions, not because you feel less, but because you govern more. That distance is mastery. That distance is strength. That distance is the beginning of all inner dominion. Step 2. Train your inner climate. Every morning. If step 1 builds the pause, step 2 builds the atmosphere you live in. Because no matter how disciplined you become in the heat of the moment, if you start each day in chaos, you will spend the rest of it recovering from conditions you could have prevented. Most people roll out of bed and immediately surrender their mind to the world. They check messages, notifications, demands, headlines, arguments, noise. Before they've even taken a breath, their inner climate has been hijacked. Their mood isn't chosen, it's assigned by the world. The strong don't live like this. The strong set their weather before the world gets a chance to touch them. This step begins with one simple rule. You must own the first minutes of your day. Not the world, not your phone, not your problems. You. This is where you wire your nervous system, prime your thoughts, and create the tone that everything else will respond to. Start with 5 to 10 minutes of stillness before anything digital enters your awareness. Sit straight, breathe slow, let thoughts rise and fade. Do not chase them, do not judge them. Just watch. This practice is not for relaxation, it is for power. You are teaching your mind to stop reacting to every movement You are showing it that you are the observer, not the slave. In these minutes of silence, your nervous system resets itself. Stress hormones lower. The mind unclenches. Your breath deepens. This is not spirituality. It is biology. Calmness is chemistry under your command. Then you bring in the mantra of order, not a soft affirmation, but a declaration of authority. Say it quietly or in your mind, but say it with presence. My calmness is my command. My mind is master, not servant. Nothing external decides my state today. These are not pretty words. They are instructions for your subconscious. And the subconscious obeys repetition. Say the phrases until they become a tone, a vibration, an identity. You're not begging for calmness. You're declaring it. Next, set your climate statement for the day. One sentence. Short, sharp, purposeful. This statement is your mental weather report, what you will radiate into the world. Examples. Today, I remain calm under all conditions. Today, I respond instead of react. Today, my presence brings order. The statement doesn't have to be poetic. It just has to be real. You are telling your mind, this is who we are today. After that, protect your first hour as if it were sacred ground. Because it is. The first hour of your day is where your emotional state, your cognitive sharpness, and your inner climate are formed. Do not let chaos into that hour. No gossip, no bad news, no conflict, no frantic rushing, no emotional parasites. The world can wait. Your mind cannot. If you allow the world to invade this hour, you're building your day on weak soil. If you guard this hour, you're building your day on stone. The purpose of this morning discipline is simple. You're creating internal conditions that everything else must respond to. Most people live the opposite way. They respond to conditions. They let circumstances dictate mood. They chase peace instead of producing it. But those who master their mornings don't chase anything. They create the climate that makes peace inevitable. As you continue this practice, something strange begins to happen. You notice tensions that used to shake you suddenly lose their teeth. What once triggered you now feels like a gentle knock. You respond instead of reacting. People sense steadiness in you that wasn't there before. And most importantly, you begin your day with sovereignty instead of submission. Your morning becomes a workshop where your mind is shaped into a weapon, not a victim. You become the architect of your inner world. You become the author of your emotional tone. You become the ruler of your own atmosphere. This is not a routine. It is a ritual of command. A daily ceremony declaring, my mind belongs to me before it belongs to anyone else. When you own the morning, you own the mind. And when you own the mind, the world becomes far easier to govern. Step 3. Turn raw emotion into fuel, not fire. This step is where true transformation happens. Because calmness isn't the absence of emotion, it's the governance of it. Emotion is not your enemy. Emotion is energy, and energy is neutral until directed. The problem isn't that people feel too much. It's that they feel without leadership. Their emotions run loose like wildfire, destroying clarity, burning opportunities, sabotaging relationships, and leaving them exhausted. Your mission is not to suppress emotion, but to harness it, to convert emotional surges into usable power. When you stop trying to kill your feelings and start directing them, you become something rare. A person whose emotions strengthen their purpose instead of sabotaging it. It begins with one simple shift. Instead of saying, I am angry, say, I feel anger. Instead of, I am afraid, say, fear is rising in me. That tiny bit of distance, 2 or 3 words, breaks emotional possession. You stop being the emotion, and you start being the one observing it. Observation is power. Identification is imprisonment. The next step is the command question, the tool that turns emotional chaos into emotional intelligence. Whenever an emotion hits you, ask, what is this emotion trying to do to me? And what will I make it do for me? This question turns a surge of emotion into a moment of strategy. Examples. Anger wants to make you attack blindly. You turn it into clarity. What boundary needs tightening? What truth needs speaking calmly? Fear wants to freeze you. You turn it into awareness. What do I need to prepare or understand before acting? Anxiety wants to scatter your thoughts. You turn it into focus. What specific step can I take right now to move forward? Sorrow wants to sink you. You turn it into depth. What value or meaning is being revealed here? This is emotional alchemy, turning the base metal of raw reaction into the gold of controlled action. Then you use the transmutation ritual. This ritual is your emergency protocol for intense emotions. Quick, simple, effective. Write down the emotion and the situation causing it. This pulls the emotion out of your mind and onto the page, where you can see it instead of drowning in it. Breathe slowly and deeply for 20 to 30 seconds. Emotion hijacks breath. Breath hijacks emotion back. Slow breath restores command. List 3 possible responses. Not 1, not 5, just 3. The act of generating options immediately shifts you from victim to strategist. Ask which response serves your mission, not your impulse. Choose the one aligned with your values, your purpose, your future, not your mood. What feels overwhelming now becomes fuel for direction. What once consumed you now empowers you. Next, you commit to the strategic evening review. This is not journaling for comfort. It is journaling for command. Every night ask, which emotion tried to control me today? How did I redirect it? Where did I fail to redirect it? What would I do differently next time? You're not confessing. You're analyzing. You're treating your emotional life like a tactical campaign. Over time, this review turns emotional chaos into emotional literacy. You begin to recognize patterns. You see that certain triggers repeat. You understand which emotions strike hardest. You learn how long they last. You learn how you recover best. You become a student of your own inner world. As this practice deepens, a transformation occurs. Your emotions stop behaving like storms and start behaving like soldiers. They wait for instructions. Fear becomes caution, not paralysis. Anger becomes truth, not destruction. Anxiety becomes planning, not collapse. Sorrow becomes insight, not decay. People will notice. They won't understand it, but they will feel it. You'll walk into a room grounded, clear, steady. You'll speak without tension, decide without panic, move without frenzy. Your presence will become stronger because your emotions are no longer running wild inside you. The undisciplined emotion burns. The directed emotion builds. This step is where you stop being dragged through life by feelings and start using those feelings as fuel for focus, resilience, discipline, and purpose. Most people fight their emotions. Masters command them. And this is the turning point, when emotion ceases to control you and starts to carry you. Step 5. Deliberately train calmness in storms. This is the step where calmness stops being a concept and becomes a reflex. Because mastery isn't proven in comfort. It's forged under pressure. Anyone can be composed when life is gentle. It's when chaos rises, when the unexpected strikes, when someone disrespects you, when your plans collapse, when frustration tightens your chest, that's where your training either shows or fails. Most people collapse under pressure because they treat adversity as an intruder instead of a gymnasium. They wait for calm conditions to practice composure, not realizing that calm conditions teach nothing. The storm is the classroom. Stress is the instructor. The ones who rise are the ones who use difficulty as deliberate training, not as justification to crumble. This step begins with small storms, irritations and inconveniences that most people waste energy on. Traffic, long lines, rude comments, slow service, delay, miscommunication, technology glitches. These are not annoyances. They are drills, opportunities to rehearse the mindset you're building. Each time something small irritates you, you ask yourself, is this worthy of moving a mind like mine? And the answer is almost always no. Then comes the rule. I do not give small things permission to move a royal mind. You let the irritation arise, you notice it, and you deny it the crown. This is the equivalent of lifting light weights with perfect form before you attempt heavier loads. Small storms prepare you for big ones. Next is the practice of the silent response, one of the greatest tools in emotional warfare. When provoked, when someone tries to pull you into an argument, when insult is thrown, when someone demands your emotional reaction, you do nothing. You hold your ground. You breathe. You let silence answer for you. This silence is not absence. It is dominance. It is the refusal to be pulled down to the level of chaos. It is the signal that you control the battlefield. Weak people fill space with noise. Strong people fill it with presence. Then there is breathing as a weapon, not as relaxation. In moments of crisis, slow breathing is a declaration of sovereignty over the body. Inhale through the nose for 4 or 5 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6 or 7. Repeat until the adrenaline obeys you. When you master your breath, you master your pulse. When you master your pulse, you master your perception. When you master your perception, you master the situation. This is how you stay clear while others drown in stress. Next comes the nightly reflection, which transforms every storm into data. Before sleep, you review the conflicts of the day, not to relive them emotionally, but to study them intellectually. Ask yourself, where did I hold calm? Where did I break? What emotion tried to overthrow me? How can I be sharper next time? There is no shame in this. The general does not mourn the flaws of the army. He strengthens them. This nightly review prevents emotional mistakes from repeating and turns every failure into improved strategy. Then you track your weekly growth. Calmness is not measured by perfection. It is measured by consistency. Rate yourself 1 to 10 in key areas. How quickly you recovered from emotional spikes. How often you responded instead of reacted. How grounded you remained in conflict. How effectively you used breathing in silence. How aligned your reactions were with your mission. You're building a system of accountability for your inner world, something most people never even attempt. With time, this training reshapes your identity. You stop being someone who gets upset. You stop being pulled by emotional currents. You stop panicking under pressure. Calmness becomes automatic. People will notice it before you do. You'll start hearing things like, you don't get rattled easily. You stay cool under pressure. Your presence is steady. This is the arrival of emotional gravity, a kind of silent strength that others feel instinctively. The more you train in storms, the heavier your presence becomes. Your calmness becomes a force that steadies others. And when that happens, You step into a rare category, the person people trust in chaos. This is why step 5 matters. It is the transformation point. Calmness becomes more than behavior. It becomes identity. Identity becomes atmosphere. Atmosphere becomes influence. Influence becomes quiet power. Storms no longer intimidate you because they no longer govern you. They become opportunities, proof points of your mastery. And one day you'll realize something profound. You no longer seek peace from the world. You bring peace into the world. Because calmness is no longer something you practice. It's something you are. When you look back at everything we've covered, the pause, the morning climate, the emotional alchemy, the mission, the storm training, you'll notice something profound. None of these steps are about controlling the world. They're about controlling yourself. Because the greatest illusion you've ever believed is that life's chaos is your enemy. It never was. The real enemy has always been the untrained reaction, the undisciplined mind, the impulse that fires faster than your purpose can speak. But now you know better. You've learned that calmness is not passiveness. It's command held in reserve. It's the silence of a weapon that only speaks when it must. You've learned to pause before emotion chooses your fate. You've learned to build a mental climate that cannot be invaded. You've learned to turn your feelings into fuel instead of fire. You've learned that purpose is the anchor that prevents you from being dragged into meaningless battles. And you've learned that storms aren't punishments. They're training grounds designed to harden your spirit into something unshakable. If you follow these steps consistently, something powerful will happen. Life will stop feeling like a series of fires you're constantly putting out. People will stop pulling you into their chaos. Fear will stop dictating your choices. Anger will stop hijacking your voice. And calmness will stop being something you chase and become something you radiate. This is the path to inner dominion, the kind of strength that doesn't shout, doesn't flinch, doesn't break. The kind of strength that moves through storms the way others move through sunlight. Calm, measured, certain. Remember this truth. The world bends for the person who does not bend for chaos. You don't need perfect circumstances. You don't need an easier life. You don't need the world to get quieter. You need only to train the one thing the world can never take from you: your inner command. Master this, and you will walk through life with a presence that cannot be shaken, a mind that cannot be manipulated, and a power that requires no noise to be recognized. Stand tall, be still, hold your ground, for the one who fights while calm can never truly be defeated.